Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Crime Crunch Time.
Yes, where we crunch and discuss
Crime.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, not for everyone's stomachs, but apparently we can handle it.
Yeah, crunching makes it easier.
So get your snacks ready to get your crunch on while we chat about crime. I'm Yovana.
And I'm Dana.
And today
we're going to discuss a very complex case of Snowtown murders.
Yeah, otherwise known as the Barrel Murders.
Yes. Most infamous serial killer case in Australia, some might say. Do you reckon?
Yeah, they're saying it's up there with Ivan Milat's backpack murders.
Yeah, so it's pretty up there. And I would like to apologize if we missed a couple of things, because as you see, as we progress in the story, it gets really complicated. So many faces. But to give a background,
Hence the visuals.
we have this guy John Bunting, and he's the main guy. He was born in 1966 in Inala, Queensland, in a family with a low socioeconomic background.
He was reportedly sexually abused by a friend's older brother, 8 at the time. So that was the start of
his hatred towards pedophiles. But with John Bunting, he couldn't distinguish pedophiles with homosexuals. He would kind of correlate them together.
They were in the same box.
So homosexuals, pedophiles, people that wear bright pants.
They had a very cookie cutter description in his perspective.
His childhood was fucked, therefore he was fucked. And the interesting fact about him is that he didn't have any sense of smell. Which will help later on. It will help with his trade.
It does help with his trade.
It's like a superhero power.
It is. It's something that you wish you had if you were
to do this.
In this job. He worked in a crematorium when he was 20.
Didn't he butcher animals as well?
He killed his friend's dog.
Yeah.
To prove a point.
But also before that, he worked in a slaughterhouse. What? No chance in life. I'm sorry. No sense of smell, abused, and killing from the very young age. But luckily for him, there's some help, because he meets his wife at the age of 22, Veronica Tip. You think things are going better for him, but no. He lived in Inala, Queensland, and then with Veronica Tip, he moves to 203 Waterloo, Corner Street, Salisbury North in 1991. And he moves in next to Barry Lane and Robert Wagner, and they got pretty friendly.
Very friendly. Barry Lane, he was an openly gay man. Liked to dress in his alter ego called Vanessa. Barry was grooming Robert Wagner. Once they were old enough, they moved in together.
Why is Bunting befriending a known homosexual, considering his hatred towards homosexuals? Well, we can't know for sure.
No, we can't.
But there are 2 reasons that there might be. The first one is that he befriended Robert Wagner. He became really close to him because they were liking Hitler's work of art, Mein Kampf.
So that's right, they were bonding on that, and that's how they became
best friends.
Yeah,
so Bunting was kind of tolerating Barry Lane.
Yeah.
Because of Wagner.
Yes.
But also some people suggest that he was using Barry Lane to get into the gay circle so he can find out more gay people. Yeah.
So he had his key into the community and his next suspects.
Yeah.
On a platter.
The year is 1992. We have Barry Lane, we have Robert Wagner, and we have Bunting hanging out with his new friend, Clinton.
So he is believed to have had a homosexual relationship with the convicted pedophile, Barry Lane. He was not close with his family, so no one noticed that he went missing. I jumped too far.
You have. What I think that that happened, like, Barry Lane was obviously having a fling with Clinton.
Yeah.
And Clinton was known around the town as Happy Pants because he would wear like bright colours and he was like really flamboyant. They were in a house together having a party, and Bunting was there as well.
Yeah.
And then he just decided to kill Clinton and bash him with a shovel.
Because he didn't like his pink pants.
Clinton was kind of like a drifter. So he would like change towns all the time. So that's why when he actually went missing, nobody reported him.
Okay.
Because
he's a lone wolf.
Because he's a lone wolf. Like the next day, they were like, "Oh, where is he?"
Yeah.
He's gone.
Did they bury him in the house? The property?
No, I think they buried him somewhere on a road because his body...
Was his body ever found?
Yes, his body was discovered, but they didn't link Bunting to it. So actually Bunting and his stepson would watch Australia's Most Wanted.
Yes. And
they were talking about Clinton being found on the middle of the road. And Bunting said, "I did that," to his stepson.
Okay. So that's 1992.
1992. That's the year when all of their murders began. But also, like, maybe he did murder beforehand, you know?
He may have, and it's gone amiss because it wasn't connected to anything else in that vicinity.
Maybe
because he was in Western Sydney at some stages.
Yeah,
and
so he moved.
Queensland.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe he did kill somebody, but they couldn't like connect to him. But that's the known murder, 1992.
Yeah.
And then for 2 years, I think it's 2 years.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. He was just chilling. So in the meantime, Robert Wagner and Bunting joined a neo-Nazi club. And then they got kicked out of that club because they were like too extreme.
Too much.
Now imagine how extreme you have to be for a neo-Nazi club to be kicked out. Very extreme.
Very, very. If their classification of extreme is here, and they went above that, it's just like, how did anyone they interact with not get the funny feeling around them?
I don't know. It's there's a lot of like strange things happening in this town because a lot of people are just like disappearing and nobody's like asking questions, as you're gonna like find out in the next couple of minutes. This is like an example. Like Clinton obviously wasn't a pedophile.
Yeah.
So he was just a man living his best life and just fell into a wrong crowd. Yeah. Wrong time, wrong space.
Pretty much. Wrong stopover.
I think like his death is making me like most sad.
Yeah. Well, he was just really visiting.
Yeah. It was just a stop.
Holidaying through.
Yeah, and holidaying and
met the wrong people.
Died.
Thought they were fun. Probably drunk, then died.
Well, apparently Bunting had a reputation of being very charismatic. I can't see that.
No.
He meets this woman called Elizabeth Harvey, who has 3 sons. James, Troy
and David.
Yes. Only James lives in the house because he's like the youngest. Bunting, as the ladies' man as he is, hooks up with her, leaves Veronica.
After spending too much time with Elizabeth over there.
Yeah, so now that's his new family.
Yeah. John Bunting was a heartthrob in the Snowtown.
Yes, he was a heartthrob and all the ladies were really obsessed with him. We kind of don't understand why, but...
yeah. Well, after we know everything, it's hard to look at him. I tried to look at him in the way that I've never seen his face before, don't know his story, just looked at him and I'm like, that's a really cute nose, but that was it. Yeah,
that's the only good defining physical feature on him. I can't see it, but Yovana is a great person and she can find something nice about every single person.
Hence the glasses.
And he's actually dedicating all of his time into teaching James had to hate people. Pretty much. He would like skin.
Be a man.
Yeah, he would skin animals in front of him, I guess, to toughen him up.
Yeah.
James gets Bunting to be his father figure. He, teaches him everything he knows.
Yeah.
1995 is the year of second murder.
Ray Davis. He was. This is also sad. Do you want a chip?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't crunch.
No,
We were like
crunched. We've just been like
depressed.
very sad. Susan Allen was a friend of John Bunting's, and they actually dated. She is his ex-girlfriend.
As he was the ladies' man.
He was the town's ladies' man. In 1993, Ray Davies and Suzanne Allen had a relationship, and they lived together. And that relationship ended after Suzanne's grandson complained that Davies had inappropriately made some sexual advances and apparently flashing her grandchildren. They remained friends after they broke up after this incident, and Davies was living in a caravan parked at the end of Suzanne's home. Well, that's nice of her.
It's not nice that she reported him to Bunting and then he got killed. But it is nice that she let him live in her backyard, I guess.
It's the little things.
It's the little things.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
Well, Suzanne didn't help in any murders. Was she aware that Bunting was a killer?
Well, she must have noticed that her, ex-partner disappeared from her backyard, but she didn't question it. I think what he said to her is that they scared him away.
Okay.
But they didn't scare him away. They, in fact,
Killed him.
And his wife, Elizabeth, she assisted with the killing.
Roy Davies was actually mentally handicapped.
Yeah, he was.
Which in my mind kind of justifies his behaviour. Because
he wasn't necessarily a pedophile. He was just
he was just
mentally deranged.
He was disabled.
He needed help.
Yeah, he needed a carer.
There's in a lot of people in this town are people with mental illnesses and disabilities in general, which Bunting obviously took advantage of. Ray Davis is dead. Bunting, nobody reports him missing. Bunting uses his welfare payments.
Ray is also one of the bodies that were found in the backyard.
Yes, so we're still not up to the barrels. No.
Yeah, but he was buried in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. We aren't up to the barrels yet.
No. Yeah. So Ray Davis is dead. And then after Ray Davis, Suzanne Allen, the lady who reported Ray Davis, disappears. Bunting finds Suzanne's body allegedly dead in a bathtub. So he says that she actually died from a heart attack. But then he didn't report her death. He chopped her up into tiny pieces.
This is the weird part.
Yeah.
They put her in 11 different plastic bags.
11 specifically. Very strange.
Did they panic and then run into the kitchen? They chopped her up and then had nowhere to put her, so they put her in a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Because
also, what bags do they use? Because every single bag that I use leaks. So, what bags are these murderers using that, can store body parts?
That's it!
What brand is it? Can you tell me?
I don't know. To me, I'm just picturing they've had old Coles plastic bags stashed in their kitchen, and she supposedly just had her heart attack, and they chopped her up, and then now they're like, oh, well, we've just killed Ray. She can't go in the same spot as Ray. Okay. So let's put her in a plastic bag.
Yeah. But, they never actually proven that he killed her.
No.
But because she...
Bags,
exactly. Because she's not his type.
Mm.
But he says that he kind of just panicked, cut her up into tiny pieces. Because when you panic, you don't cut a person into 11 pieces.
John does. John panics and thinks, I'm going to slice it up like salami.
No, that's like 1995.
5, yeah.
And then for 2 years, they kind of like didn't do anything. They just like chilled.
Is this time Elizabeth's son James was being groomed?
Yeah.
By Bunting?
Yeah. So all of this time, Bunting is like grooming, you know, James, and he's getting like more involved into
sadistic,
like spider web, into like, you know, I think he was like trying to convince them that they were doing a good deed, like cleaning the society of what Bunting perceived not to be, you know, a good decent person.
They were the Avengers of the pedophile.
Yeah, but they obviously weren't. They were just like targeting people who had no one, just so they can like live off their paycheck.
Yeah.
So 1995, grooming continues of the poor Justin, who doesn't know any better. So you actually kind of feel sad about him.
Very sad. I've been saying James. Is it Justin?
I'm pretty sure it is Justin. Isn't Justin?
So many names. Sorry.
No. Bored. Look at how bored growing of murders.
It's growing.
The year is 1997.
It is.
It's
been
popping
2
year.
years.
Yeah.
Things are dry.
Things are dry. They need more welfare checks. More money.
More money is needed.
More money is. But also, in 1997, Bunting decides that he doesn't need Barry Lane anymore.
Yeah.
So he kills him. Yeah.
All that built-up rage.
Yeah. Barry Lane is gone because, oh yeah, we forgot to say that in the meantime, Robert Wagner actually moved out, separated from Barry Lane, and actually got married and became a stepdad to 2 kids. So he was living his heterosexual life, and Bunting thought that he succeeded in putting him on right tracks, so to say.
Yes.
So we didn't need Barry Lane anymore.
That would have made their bond even stronger.
Yeah. So Barry Lane was dating this guy called Thomas Trevelyan, who was actually schizophrenic. Because Thomas Trevelyan, who was dating Barry Lane at the moment, witnessed Barry Lane's murder. Yeah. Yes. And because Thomas Trevelyan was schizophrenic, Bunting thought that he wouldn't be reliable to...
to keep quiet.
So they killed him.
That's it. They killed him and staged it as a suicide.
Yes. So he's the only guy that didn't like bother to hide his body because
they thought if he's schizophrenic, he will question the fact that maybe he took his life.
He did?
Yeah, he did. That makes me emotional.
I don't think we should get into detail, but Bunting didn't just kill these people. He actually like tortured them, like really enjoyed. So he was like a thrill seeker. So a lot of these people were like
dopamine hit for him. Yeah,
so they were like try to like keep them alive, as much alive as he can until he like kills them, and then he would like and then he would like make them record messages for their family so they don't
suspect anything. I'm just reading here, Wagner and Bunting stage a robbery at Michelle's home, stealing some of Miss Zoreda's belongings and convincing her that Gardner had stolen them in order to pay for a sex change operation. Gardner's body was kept in the barrel in the shed until it was moved to the bank vault. So he was one of the first bodies, along with Barry Lane.
Barry Lane was the first body in the barrel.
Okay, there we go. So Barry Lane was the first one in the concoction that they had. What was that chemical?
It was like acid.
Acid in those barrels. And then along came Gardner's body.
So the bodies in the barrels, they were all kept in like Bunting's booth, like youths, like a car. That's what I read from the beginning. Yeah. But he would like shuffle them around. And all of these people were actually not killed in Snowtown. They were all killed in Salisbury North. Okay,
so after there was Gavin Porter is a year later, not just. So we're going to 1998 now. Gavin's a heroin addict, guys. Friends with Blasakis. son of Elizabeth, who is the new it girl for Jay Bunting.
Then what do we have next? We have Fred Brooks. So this is the most brutal murder. Like, the way how he did it is just like they tortured him, cut off his fingers, shoved water into his personal area, and they killed Fred Brooks.
Lit cigarettes and inserted them into his ears and his nostrils.
Yeah, so Fred Brooks wasn't a pedophile, wasn't gay. He just didn't like Bunting, and Bunting was like, okay, I'm just gonna spread rumors that he's touching girls indecently, and so he killed him. And Blasakis actually helped with that murder as well.
Fred Brooks was the son of
one of the girls that Bunting dated.
Okay.
Bunting dated a lot of girls.
He did.
Yeah, they tortured him in the bathtub.
They really liked torturing in bathtubs.
Yeah. Well, I guess it helps with like blood going.
Easy to clean.
And then in 1998 as well, we have
Troy Udes, I apologise. Same month as Fred Brooks.
So Troy was Elizabeth's son, so Justin's stepbrother, actually.
Yeah.
And Justin confided in Bunting that Troy sexually abused him. So Bunting was like, okay, we're gonna kill him. So
yeah. Oh, this was the first murder that James participated in.
So
his brother's murder was the start, and then Fred Brooks came along.
And we also have in 1998 Gary O'Dwyer, who was, as well as Fred Brooks, he wasn't a paedophile, he wasn't gay, he was just a disabled man on a pension.
Yeah, so he was disabled after a car accident. He was just a stranger.
Yeah.
That they were like,
we're gonna kill him.
And that also involves Bunting, Wagner, and Blasakis.
Gary, yeah. Okay, so we have Troy, Michelle, Gavin, Fred, and Gary.
Yeah.
They all died in 1998, and they were all bodies in the barrels. And all of this is actually not suspicious to the police at all. So, and that's why I was talking to Yovana, like, it's really, like, interesting to see that, like, didn't, like, anyone, yes, they left voice messages, because, you know, to say, yes, we're alive, but, like,
nothing.
Then nobody thought that it was strange, that people were just, like, leaving the town. We'll still keep going in 1998. So the last person in 1998 that he killed was a woman called Elizabeth Hayden, and she was Mark Hayden's wife. So Mark Hayden is the last guy who joined this group of ring leaders. So his wife Elizabeth, there's another Elizabeth Hayden, gets murdered by Bunting. Why? Probably because of her welfare benefits.
Yeah, like everyone else in town.
Yeah. And then Mark was like, cool, you killed my wife.
Sad.
I also have a bank where you can store your bodies. Do you want to do that?
Take the keys, guys. Conveniently placed in a good side of town, right next to
police station. Yeah, so that was their plan, because they had so many bodies in the barrels, they started to like stink. So they decided to like...
That acid couldn't handle it.
No. So they decided to move the bodies to Snowtown. So from Salisbury Note to the Snowtown. And the bank vault was literally next to the police station. And because in 1998 he killed Elizabeth Hayden, she was the only one who was reported missing. Her brother didn't believe her husband that she just like skipped town. So he reported her to the police. And the police started investigating a lot of mysterious disappearances in the town. And that's how they actually, you know, got caught. They also got caught because they had a black van delivering barrels next to the police station. And it's like a town that everybody knows everyone. And they were like, what the fuck are these barrels doing here? And that's literally how they got caught. Because they were like, oh, this is suspicious. So... they went in and then discovered the atrocity that is bodies in barrels. So all of these people were actually not killed in Snowtown. They were killed in Salisbury now. And the only guy who did get killed in Snowtown was David Johnson, another stepbrother of Justin Lasakis, because he also sexually abused him. So he was dead. He was in a barrel. So, but also Elizabeth, their mother, she had 2 kids being killed by Bunting, and she didn't think to say, hello, where are my kids?
Nothing.
Considering that she did participate in the killing of Ray Davis. So she didn't thought, hello. But anyway, we can't speak of Elizabeth because she died from cancer. So everything that we know about her participation is from the, other people's statements. Nothing else. So, I know this sounds a bit, complicated. It does sound very complicated.
Is a woman, feminine...
Feminine
anyone's intuition,
I think
man.
Nobody had an intuition. But that, speaks how sad it is, because it was a town with, low socioeconomic backgrounds, and most of the people had intellectual disability or any type of disability, and Bunting just took advantage of that.
Just talking about the motherly intuition.
Yeah, no motherly intuition at all. Let's talk about aftermath. Yeah, so they got caught in 1999, and the trial lasted almost 4 years, and nobody wanted to talk at first. They were all feeling really silent, and the first guy who broke down was Justin. Because he was the youngest. Yeah, so I think the police was baby. Or pressuring him.
Yeah.
To give him less sentence in exchange for information,
and
but they didn't.
The developing mind too. So he was 14 when he met Bunting, and by the time they got caught, he was 19. After the sentence was concluded in 2003, he was sharing the most with the police and cooperating. So they gave him 19 years. What? Was he released in 2020?
He was released?
I don't know. No, that's not 19 years, is it?
Fuck?
No.
No, it is 19 years. If he was... Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. He's somewhere out there enjoying Macca's.
He is. He's in a drive-thru near you.
Right now. Collecting his Big Mac.
Oh, God.
But you do kind of feel sorry for him. Not that he did participate in 4 murders out of 12. Yeah, Justin, Bunting was convicted of all the murders, all 12 murders.
Apparently, this is saying he had a 26-year non-parole period for 4 murders, including those of his stepbrothers and half-brother, and he's eligible for parole in 2025.
Okay, he's still in the prison.
He's still in prison.
He's not buying
He's
Macca's.
not at Macca's drive-thru.
Near your
Quick
place.
fact check.
No.
Okay, so they weren't so easy with him.
No. So he thought that they would be easy on him, but they weren't. That's why he gave him all the information and screwed everyone up.
That's it.
But also, even if he didn't give them the information, the fact that they were getting the money from the same ATM from all the victims tells a lot. Robert Wagner tried to get a parole last year and the year before, and then he got denied. He said that he changed his ways and he see the mistakes that he did. But then, as I said to Yovana, he didn't rob a bank.
No.
He killed 11 people.
Yeah.
So
there's no way of asking your way out of that.
I don't even know how that's even possible for him to get the chance to maybe get out. And it's a very sad case of you kind of feel sorry for even Robert Wagner, because he was kind of groomed by Barry Lane since he was really young.
Yeah, he was.
And then groomed by Bunting, and then also you feel sorry for Justin because he was also under the influence of Bunting for most of his teenage life, where the mind is developing and it's very susceptible.
Very easily influenced. That's just they're victims to all types of abuse.
Yeah.
There's the emotional abuse of the grooming,
the
manipulation, the sexual abuse, and that's just showing the cycle of the system in lower socioeconomic status areas.
Which is really sad. I actually have to say this is the
So
first
let down.
time maybe actually talking about this case and not wanting to vomit. Because the first time when I read through, I literally like couldn't like watch any true crime for like months because I was sickened.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast, detailed podcast of each murder, and I was churning. Someone actually purchased that bank, and
So-
they wanted to turn it into a museum, a murder museum. And would you visit that museum just to see some barrels? Maybe they'd put some glass, like, see-through window on some of it and have some chopped up bones in some acid and explain the process. Like, I think that would...
Gross you.
That's like subconsciously grooming and giving ideas to people.
Yeah.
And gross.
Also, like, I don't think it would be the same barrels. It would be staged barrels.
It would
not
be
that
staged.
not that I want to see the real barrels.
Not the real barrels.
not the real barrels.
Not the real barrels.
Thank you guys for watching, and if you really enjoyed this video and this podcast, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. I think our next murder is going to be an unsolved murder they are going to attempt. We are not sure which one.
We are yet to decide. If you have any suggestions, please let us know.
Yes, please leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments and we shall get researching. And thank you again for listening to Crime Crunch Time.
Yes, and we do apologise if it was a bit messy, but this was actually a really hectic murder with lots of characters. So we tried to do our best.
Yeah, we hope you learn with us.
Yes, we hope you learn about generational trauma and the circle of disadvantagement in low socioeconomic country. I mean towns. Yes.
Puts it into perspective.
Puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.